Okay, I'd like to start that advocates brought up that there would be, if there's a full popular vote, that there would be more chances for voter fraud. And usually there's always going to be voter fraud, but because the Electoral College is, you don't see it. But even if the Electoral College isn't there, that is one vote of 300 million or upwards of whatever the population of America is now. And one out of that is a very, very slim margin to actually win the presidency over. You would need hundreds of thousands of people who are causing voter fraud, and that's just way too many people to try and swing and do that. Also, they brought up that our forefathers made it difficult to change the Electoral College. And just because they made it difficult does not mean that it's outdated. I have a quote from Burt Constable saying, "The biggest reason it was set up was to protect slavery, noting that for 32 of our first 36 years as a nation, the Electoral College elected a slave-owning Virginian to be president. Without the Electoral College, northern states that let free blacks vote would have had more votes and more power. And a state wanting to elect a particular candidate could have doubled its clout instantly simply by extending voting rights to women. Justification for the Electoral College is rooted in racism and sexism. The 15th Amendment in 1870 gave black men the right to vote. A half-century later, the federal government decided women too could vote, or could be trusted with the vote. But the Electoral College survives into the 21st century." As you can tell, when they first established the Electoral College, it worked great for what it is back then. We are now in the 21st century. We have computers. There's very less likely there's going to be an entire nationwide recount or anything like that. It does take a constitutional amendment to abolish the Electoral College, and but that can be easily done if it just, if you get enough people to agree upon it and everything like that. We can find the right way to do it. And quote by Senator Bill Nelson says that he thinks the president should be chosen by popular vote, the same way U.S. senators and representatives, state governors and legislatures, and local officials are all selected. Obviously, if we're going to select every person who runs our government other than the president like this, obviously we should extend this to the president, so our entire government is a full democracy and everyone votes the same. Also, the Electoral College is slightly skewed as to it can end in a tie. And in the event of this, it then goes to the House of Representatives, which many people vote different ways for their representatives in the House and what they want for president. The quote says, "Given that many voters vote one party for president and another for Congress, the House's selection can hardly be expected to reflect the will of the people. And if electoral tie seems unlikely, consider this. In 1968, a shift of just 41,971 votes would have deadlocked the election. In 1976, a tie would have occurred if a mere 5,559 voters in Ohio and 3,687 voters in Hawaii had voted the other way. The election is only a few swing voters away from catastrophe." So as you can see, the Electoral College is out of date, and also that the winner-take-all format is unfair. The popular vote doesn't always win, and that the public would rather have a full popular vote for president. I'd like to end with a couple quotes from Michael Munger, saying that, Michael Munger, a chairman of the Political Science Department at Duke University, said, "Too much of the country is ignored in the current political atmosphere, in which national presidential campaigns are often concentrated in less than half the states." He also says that too much rides on a few votes.